Hi everyone, this is Kelly with a tiny bit of this. In this series you will see me, Mom, and my daughter Mandy chalking on everything but the sidewalk. Mandy is an independent designer with Couture. You can find her on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and her website under Chalking Where The Sidewalk Ends. Come join us over on Mandy's Facebook page to see us live every Monday on her Mondays with Mom series. You may catch the full replay over on Facebook or an edited version right here on my YouTube channel. I would love for you to be a part of our journey with Couture, so don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell to get notified when I upload another Mondays with Mom or any other of my crafty videos.
We will be using the chalk paste, and Mondays are my Mondays with Mom. So on Mondays my mom comes on and does her own project on my page. So tonight she is starting on a project that will go across a couple of different videos. So she's got this area behind me that's what, maybe 20, what's that, 18, maybe about 36 inches wide.
Oh, how, yeah, I was going to say how long is my counter?
It's as wide as her counter, so we are sitting
on the counter.
Sitting on the counter. It's like a bar counter type of thing, island counter, but not really an island because it goes to the wall. It's a peninsula. So the chalkboard area is the span of the counter. It's been painted with chalkboard paint. She's had it up here for a few years. We've only ever really done, writing with chalk on it. My daughter, since she was really little, used to sit up on the counter and draw pictures and all that. Now that she's not so little anymore, she doesn't find that fun anymore, so we are going to
we're gonna have fun with it now.
Chalk up on it. So we have, sorry if I'm shaking, I wanted to start the video holding the phone so that I could show you. So we've got a thing kind of going up here. We've taped the transfers, taped the transfers up that she will be using. So she's going to put our kitchen, and then this white one that you see here, we don't have the transfer yet. So we have an apple pie recipe transfer. It's an E size, so I just grabbed one of my other E sizes and taped it up there just for sizing. And then we are going to put the baked fresh above it. It actually says baked fresh daily. That and the hot coffee transfer are one C size, I think. And then there we go. That one there is a recipe for strawberry jam. And then we're gonna put the word groceries, and she's gonna leave that spot up until the light switch there blank for her to write her grocery list. And then she has her
coffee maker's right here.
Keurig coffee maker. So we are going to put the hot coffee sign next to that. So again, this is something that's going to take us a few days, a few videos, and we don't even have the apple pie transfer yet. So for tonight, we are going to be doing the word groceries and our kitchen. So give me a second while I get you into the phone stand. I already have it set up.
Mandy almost stands up straight.
Yeah, I'm standing on the counter. This is the roof. So again, the chalkboard goes from the countertop all the way up to the ceiling. So it's a nice big area for us to chalk on, which is really awesome. All right, let me just...
The whole reason why I wanted to start Chalktours, because I
my hand
for this board.
My things with Couture is the fact that our stuff is reusable. So our transfers are reusable 8 to 12 times, and the chalk paste is removable when you want it to come off of anything that is a non-porous surface. So again, if you're new, I just want to show you real quick. This is something that I had chalked previously on a chalkboard. You can wipe this and rub this and it's not going to go anywhere. Whereas with regular chalk, you still get like that dusting. Even the chalk markers they're not completely untouchable. You can even see like on her chalkboard here, there's some white ghosting left over from writing on there previously. So my 2-year-old niece is up here a lot, and she will be able to touch this chalkboard area without anything coming off. And then if mom gets bored of what she has up here over time, there's a ladybug on your ceiling. Oh, sorry, squirrel. If mom gets bored of what she has up here over time, or wants to change something out, put something up seasonally or anything like that, we will be able to just erase the chalk paste and do something new. So I'm going to turn it over to her to get started. Again, we are standing, or well, she will be standing on the counter from this point on.
I'm standing. I got
hopefully we have the camera set up in a way that it won't really block your view as best as possible. So.
Okay, I don't stand up under here quite as easy as Mandy does.
But you should, you're shorter than me.
How come I'm not how come I feel like I have less room than you?
No, I have to crank. I have to bend my neck.
Okay, she has more room than me. I think I shrunk in the past few years for some reason. Okay, Mandy is going to fuzz my transfers.
Why do we fuzz?
Okay, so we have to fuzz the back of the transfer because it's pretty sticky. All right, and you don't want it to stick super well to the surface, because when you pull it off, it's going to pull your paste and whatever surface it is along with the transfer. So you want to fuzz it. You want to literally put fuzz on it. And we have a fuzzing towel that we use, or you can use a hand towel or your clothing just to get it less sticky. You don't want it to stick to the board that well. Once you wash these, because they're reusable, once you wash them, the stickiness comes right back. So you do want to fuzz every time you use them. And these letters haven't been used, right?
The O has been used before, the U and the R.
Okay, so 2 of them haven't been used, so you want to make sure brand new ones get fuzzed pretty well. I turned off the heat. I mean the air, the heat. Yeah, I feel heat. I turned off the air because I didn't want it blowing on me, and now I'm sweating. I know. It's driving me nuts already. Is your dot down the bottom?
Yes.
Okay. For those who want to know, Mandy puts these little dots down the bottom so she knows which way is the bottom of the letter.
For one that could go upside down.
For one that probably could go either way, but if you see where the O is lined up on the transfer, then when you're lining them up, you wouldn't be able to use these registration marks to get them all even. So you want to make sure you give yourself a little mark there, so then you know. So then I'm going to pull up from the center and lift straight up. Yep, there was something under in my screen, but that's alright. It's no big deal. So you can see the registration marks there, here and here. So then with my next letter, I'm going to line up the registration marks on the opposite side of that letter, so then it will make it look like a word. I'm going to just...
The registration marks are really helpful to make sure that you get your letters going straight across. Because obviously...
Sorry. You can finish that sentence in a second.
If you were doing all of the transfers up there at the same time, you could obviously just line up the top and the bottom, but as you can see, once you take the transfer off, it's kind of hard to tell where it was to begin with. So the registration marks are there to keep you going in a straight line.
Well, I'm not really going in a straight line, but it's going to keep
and
my
because,
line.
Well, because you're going diagonal, it's even more reason why you definitely want to use them, or else it could really end up like more lopsided.
Right. Okay, so now I'm going with my second letter, and I'm going to go right up to the registration mark.
And the reason why she used the heat gun is just to speed up the drying process. That way, if her transfer touches any part of the O that's already on there, it's not going to remove any of the paste. You just want to make sure that the paste you put on is completely dry before you overlap anything. So using a heat gun or a blow dryer helps to speed that up. Especially when doing videos. If you're not videoing yourself, then you don't necessarily have to. It dries within a minute or two, but...
Okay, that's my second letter. Alright. And I'm going to come into the center and pull straight up. And you don't have to use a heat gun, you could use a hairdryer. If you have something that actually has a cool setting, you're probably better off, but we just use the heat gun. And the reason why you would prefer to do something with a cool setting is because you really want to make sure your surface goes back to its normal temperature before you put the next one on.
For the last letter, we don't necessarily have to do the registration marks because we're not doing another letter afterwards. The only time you would not want to use the registration marks if you're using lettering is on wood, because it's a porous surface and it's going to draw the paste in. You're never 100% guaranteed to be able to get all the coloring off. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, just depending. If it's raw wood, you definitely probably won't. If it's painted, you know, sometimes you can, but I always try to just eyeball it just in case. Or if you are using ink, in that case you wouldn't be able to use the registration marks for that either. However, one trick that you can do if you don't think that you can eyeball it or line it up well enough to get them straight is that you can use a piece of painter's tape and put the painter's tape down, you know, right where your registration marks would go onto your surface, and chalk or ink them right onto the painter's tape. You know, keep the painter's tape up there as you're doing your entire word, and then when you're all done, remove the painter's tape, and that will take the registration marks off with it. In this case, we're doing the registration marks right on our surface, but as we've said, our chalk paste is removable. So once she gets her entire word done, she's going to go back with a wet Q-tip and just take the paste right off. Both sides, so that's wet.
Ava might be jealous. I'm doing her board.
Hasn't gotten up and drawn anything.
I know.
I mean, technically you could leave the space in between the apple pie transfer and the hot coffee transfer for her to still draw pictures.
Oh, that's true. I take a picture of everything she drew up here. Or I have taken a picture of everything she's drawn up here. Okay, got a little ghosting. Mandy can fix that up later.
Yep, so the chalk paste came right off with the wet Q-tip. And then, like she said, if you get a little bit of ghosting, which is like that shadow that the paste can sometimes leave behind, just like regular chalk leaves marks, you can go over it with what we have. It's called a board eraser. It's kind of like a Mr. Clean magic eraser type of sponge, and it really helps to take that ghosting off of chalkboard surfaces.
I had actually used the magic eraser on this board, and it's streaked. So I went over it with the Couture one, and it made it look a little bit better. But I think I had so much actual chalk on here.
Right, because have you ever taken a Mr. Clean to it in all the time you've had it?
No, but
Yes.
when I first got the paint, when you get chalkboard paint, it tells you should take the chalk on its side and run the chalk all the way across the whole chalkboard.
Oh yeah, like season it.
To season it. So it has always had that ghosting effect or shadowy, like a chalkboard. But I actually kind of like it, so I'm not really worried about it looking that way because I want it to look like a chalkboard.
Right.
I'm not pushing down on my edges because that will help me to get the first grip to pull it off. Just going to smooth. I felt the bubble, I heard it. Because crackle. Oh, did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
I watched some videos of some girls who Couture too, and they don't do this. They just kind of stick it up there and they end up with spots that didn't get the paste real well. So it's always good to kind of rub your finger down to make sure you get all those bubbles out.
We have several different size squeegees. So she started out with the mini squeegee because those letters were smaller. Now that she's got this big transfer, you still want to work quickly because your paste does dry rather quickly, as I mentioned before, and you don't want it to dry while your transfer is still on there. Because if it dries while your transfer is still on, then when you peel it off, it will actually stick to the silk screen and some of it will come off with it. So she used the mini squeegee before. Now I told her to use the small squeegee to actually put the paste up on top of the transfer, across the top of the letters, and then use our 4-inch handled squeegee to pull the paste down. That way she can pull it down rather quickly.
This is one of the bigger surfaces I've ever done, so let's see how I do. And what you don't want to do is stop. I did that last week. Huh?
Close the paste.
I did. I did that last week. I stopped in the middle of pulling and it made a line. So you want to kind of just one swoop. Okay, don't want to get you dizzy.
So sit where you're comfortable sitting, and then I will move the camera if I need to.
Oy! I won't be able to get up. All right.
Because she sees that you erased her stuff.
I did.
We're leaving her an empty spot that she can still make small pictures.
Well, sorry, I almost knocked you over. So I'm going to put groceries here and giving myself this space here to actually write, you know, milk, bread, whatever we need right here on the list.
Take a picture when you go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
So we're putting this right underneath of where we are going to do the strawberry jam recipe. With these long transfers, I always like to start at one side and then push them down as I go, because if you put both sides down, then you could end up with the bubbles in the middle. So it's just easier to kind of lay one side and then flatten it down as you go across.
I'm actually going to have Mandy do this one because I want to see her what she was trying to show me how to do that I didn't put enough on. I just want to watch her do this.
There's actually a bump in your board there. Hopefully it'll be right.
Oh yeah.
I thought there might have been something under there, but it's actually on the chalkboard itself.
There's a drip of paint.
I'm just smoothing out each individual letter to get out any air bubbles. I personally find it easier to do each letter individually. Some people like to take like the big 4-inch handled squeegee and kind of go the whole way across. But I actually feel like sometimes if there is an air bubble, like in the green area where it wouldn't really matter, if I go over it with the 4-inch handled squeegee, I end up pushing the air bubbles to the silk screen and just make more work for myself. So I like to just go letter by letter.
Voila! Minus my drip marks.
Do you still have that wet paper towel? Or
Yeah. Oh. There we go. That was a big drip here.
Yeah, well, when you're doing it on a vertical surface like that, obviously gravity's going to take over and it's going to fall, so you don't want to put too much, but at the same time, when you're working with a bigger transfer, you don't want to put too little that it makes you go too slow. So, better to clean off the drip marks than have it dry too quickly.
I'm going to take this off of the stand and actually step back some so you can see more of the whole board. What?
Okay, so yeah, our kitchen. Then we will have baked fresh with the apple pie.
Apple pie right here.
We have the strawberry jam.
Right here.
Groceries.
Hot coffee here, and then this is going to be left for
Ava and Charlotte
to do
to
something.
draw on. And then we have some other little, like
Rolling pin,
a little mixing bowl, some other small kitchen things that we can kind of add up there when we're all finished to fill in some of the dead space. Sorry, it's hard for me to hold the phone over top of the counter without shaking. Also trying to...
That's pretty much it for tonight.
Alright, look a mess. So that's it for tonight. Thank you guys again for watching our Mondays with Mom. I'm going to watch Mom fall off the counter.
Ow.
She made it.
Yay!